You think it's funny, but I woke up to the news, so I did cry a bit because it was very sad. And I woke up to like 50 texts and people just tagging me and asking me, have you seen the news?
Through goes Hamilton! You can hear the cheers from Monza!
The mics are on and off we go. Hi
guys.
guys, my name is Winnie.
My name is Ray.
Welcome to the Wheelspin Podcast, the home of Formula One content and everything motorsport. Are you done crying? Baby, are you done talking?
You think it's funny, but I woke up to the news, so I did cry a bit because it was very sad. And I woke up to like 50 texts and people just tagging me and asking me, have you seen the news?
What's popping? I think there's a difference. There are people who's like, Formula One is like a job to me. I slept at 4 a.m. because I was busy on Twitter waiting. I mean, already, I think we were just waiting for feedback. It was just sarcastic.
I mean, you guys were waiting for feedback. Me, I knew we had this in the bag. I had complained what I had to complain. I checked the points, and so P2 is here. It's in the bag. And then I just went to sleep, and I was like, I'm waking up. It's a good week. Lewis was on the podium. So at least, there's a difference between the people who slept with the news and the people who woke up to the news.
Honestly, I feel like I think it would actually, and then there's no precursor, like I don't know, like there's no joking about it. It's just raw, like I'm dogging you with the news. Like I think as we had like to make jokes up, there was so many jokes flying around Twitter. It was hilarious. Like as in, what could we do? Like we knew it was like like slam dunk disqualification, and I think if it would have been one driver, that would have been different. The scenes would have been different. But then now, since it was two drivers, we're talking about the disqualification of Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc from the US Grand Prix. Like it happened post-race.
And most people thought it was a joke. Like this trolling memes that usually like go around. So I think most people who are caught in the it's just a joke. They can't be disqualified.
No, as in I think since personally, I don't know. I think as a Lewis Hamilton fan, I've become so not desensitized. As in, I don't know
you're numb to the pain.
I'm numb to the pain because I think it didn't like I didn't want to dwell on it because it was pretty. Like I mean, we've been caught. Like, and I think now the other thing is that now let's just get into the race itself.
Yeah.
Like it was a sprint weekend with only like 1 hour of practice. Yeah, so that means it's like more pressure on the team again. You have to get the setup of your car right.
Yeah,
like
before the car goes into park farming.
Because after FP1, your car goes into
park farming.
Yeah, because there's qualifying in the
after.
afternoon. In fact, it's after the qualifying. Cindy, like, do they go into park farming after the practice? Before qualifying, exactly. So you only have one practice session to go off on all the data, and you don't even have so much data again.
Yeah, and just basically get the setup right. But as much as we might say it was a sprint weekend and all of that, it's still not justification for what happened. Let us not say it's just because it is. Mercedes just got it wrong. Maybe they did not get it wrong on purpose. Maybe it was just a mistake, or maybe they were just trying to see Kwani watadu.
They tried to pull a Red Bull. They're not Red Bull.
Yeah, they tried to pull a Red Bull and then they got caught.
They're not Red Bull. But so I think the thing is I think let's just talk about it. These are checks FIA does. Sometimes we might assume there's so many things that happen by the way behind the scenes of Formula One.
Yeah.
It's just not the racing because FIA is working. There's like the stewards. There are people who there's some post-race like checks that are done on the car.
Yeah.
There's some pre-race checks.
Yeah.
Like some
and
they check the pressure.
They're checked before the race, so it happens during the race.
The people you see walking around, the people who are checking the pressure, amount. There's like a regulated like amount. There's a threshold. They are checking the pressures of the different tires.
Yeah, they're checking the fuel.
They check in fact, after the race, Lewis had several checks. I think
Yeah,
his fuel. They take some. I think they do take fuel. You
Yeah,
remember there's
samples.
sample fuel, and if you don't have also the fuel, sometimes
Yeah.
you are going to be penalized
Yes.
because why don't you have it?
I mean, it's just that, I saw the article and I was like, they checked Lewis's car so many times this week, and I was just saying, car 44, car 44, car 44 got an engine check. Car 63 was just Mercedes.
Yeah, but I think once you check, I think I did say shout out to Sam Collins. Sam Collins is like, he does a lot of technical stuff for F1 TV as well, and on Twitter he does a very brilliant job. So I saw he released, I don't know where people get that data, but of course it's released by the FIA. So there were so many checks, and I think we'll just post them on our Instagram as well. Like, there were so many checks that were done on the different cars, and like one of it is now the plank. The reason why Leclerc and Lewis were disqualified was because of, you see, the way when they lift the car up.
I think most people have seen how the floor looks, so they can paint a mental picture.
I'm trying to paint for maybe people who haven't seen. So you see, when they lift up the car, like on the floor, there's always that. I always thought it was such an ugly addition. Like, I didn't know what it was.
It's
for.
wood.
It's
wood.
It's weird. Like, I didn't know it was actually, like, it did look like wood, but I didn't ever think it. I just thought it was part of the floor sometimes, and I thought it made the floor look quite a bit unattractive.
Like, why are you here?
Why are you here exactly? But so they use it to track how raised or like how low your car.
Your
There's
car
like
is
a
running.
threshold set by FIA that your car can't ride this low.
Yeah.
So they analyze, the comparison, the wear on the plank.
Yeah,
so that
I saw that they've given it just 1 millimeter. I mean, 1 millimeter surely.
I don't know what they mean by that. I don't know. Like, I'm a forensics girl. So when they say comparison is, it's just checking the streaks, the wear on the plank. I love it. So there are these jobs I could go and work in FIA and just torment Team LH.
But I saw the photos of the different cars running on the track, and you could see those like.
Okay, let's not go off by those photos because someone else was like, I don't know if.
But maybe
even
it's
sure
not
that
even
they're
that.
not. It's
Maybe
not even that track.
That track. Maybe it was.
It's just random photos.
Monza.
It's just or like some other place.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I think we can't fault FIA for doing their job. Like, I think, let me just say, I think, did you see the delegation that went to? Mercedes had 3 of their folks with a
small piece of paper.
Someone said on Twitter that he's carried Victoria's Secrets. The Ferrari team, like, they were literally standing next to a trash can.
Yeah.
Outside the stewards, and one was vaping, the other was like, oops, like, you can't.
I think they were just waiting for Mercedes to go in and ask them when they come out. So what have you guys said? It's like when there's like multiple people who've been caught, and then you're going to the principal's office.
It's like the staff room, like,
and you're entering one by one.
Yeah.
So you have to be like, when one comes out, you're like,
Remember
nini?
So that you can prep yourself, like, what is happening there.
Yeah.
And then, what was your defense? And then be like, okay, let's go use the same one maybe. Like, it was like, I didn't even, like, this is the first time someone is being disqualified for any, like, since 1994.
Since Schumacher.
And it had to be
Lewis and Charles
Leclerc. Like,
I mean, when you see these things, I do get part of the cult was very FIA. When something bad happens, we are humans. We're always compelled to blame someone else for what is happening. But the thing is, it's just very funny when it's becoming a pattern. When it's Lewis and Charles, the FIA are very quick to enforce their rules.
They don't even hesitate. Like, I don't know what is this
When it's Lewis slam dunk penalty, and if it's Charles slam dunk, there's no thinking about it. They are very quick to enforce their own rules. But I'm not trying to like bring an agenda, but when it's other drivers, we will let this happen today. But probably it can never happen again.
I think if it were other drivers, I think after they would have said, we'll investigate this after the sprint. Like, after, we have a triple header. We're going to Mexico next, and then we go to Brazil. So maybe at Wangesema, like, we're going to investigate it after Brazil. Like, to give us time.
I'm not surprised because, we saw in Brazil 21 where Lewis was disqualified.
We were disqualified.
Because
honestly,
of his rear wing being 0.2 millimeters.
Like off or something.
So I
think-
mean, I'm not really surprised, but the way it's like, we have not seen this before. People getting disqualified from a race.
It's
like,
been a minute.
yeah,
like,
but
as
like
in
you're
it's a whole long
disqualified from a
minute.
race. I mean, I do get the argument the FIA is giving is that if your floor is too low, you have an advantage for more downforce.
You get more downforce,
so
that means-
more performance.
Exactly,
But I mean, now for Mercedes, it just means they also have to go back to the drawing board because
Okay.
they don't know if that floor is working optimally. Because
Okay,
if
definitely.
if they increase the ride height, that might also like change the performance. I mean, there's so
but
many
how off
problems
were
with
they
Mercedes.
exactly? So I think now, first of all, now it's actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I was like, yesterday after the race, I was already prepped for this episode. I was going to come and just give like Mercedes a proper lecture.
Yeah, I mean,
but then now that
I
I
remember
think
I
about
texted you
it-
and I told you, and I told you I'm just going to come and complain.
But then now, that I think about it, imagine if we had won that race.
Hey, Haibo.
No,
Who
you know
is
my-
God?
Who is God? I think it was all in God's plans because Mercedes got it wrong in the pit stop.
Yeah.
With a strategy, they got it wrong.
Yeah.
They cost Lewis Hamilton a win.
A win.
But it's okay that we didn't win because it would have been
Imagine
more
if
painful
Lewis won that race.
And
I
then
mean,
they
it's the first race
disqualify.
he's won in,
since 2021.
since Jeddah 21,
Yeah.
and then we get disqualified,
But then you know the-
and Max inherits the win.
The scenes, oh my god. Oh yeah, so I think the thing is, but first of all, I think I'll still go off on it because Mercedes are just, we are calling strategy from like this side of the screens. We are literally like, we
Me
can see
in my home, I'm dictating the strategy, and I'm like, this is the optimum strategy you guys should use. Then they don't see it.
But then you know that what the other funny thing is that the drivers themselves, like other drivers, Lando, Max Verstappen, are actually be like, actually thought Mercedes
Mercedes
would
were
have,
good-
we're
were
going to
going
win.
to win.
Apart from like them tanking, we can't have other drivers calling us out on strategy.
Actually, Max said that he knew
yeah,
Mercedes
because
might have won.
because Lewis was caught. You know, Max was nursing his braking issue. He's don't talk
To me in the braking.
Don't talk to me in the braking.
I
That
said,
was
don't
funny.
talk to me in the
I
braking.
said, don't talk to me in
the
the
braking. And GP was laughing.
But then GP actually left early on before, like I think after the first lap, he left he was leaving like US, like he left. I think there was that conversation.
I
don't
mean,
say
but
whatever.
anyway, I feel like, and it's funny because ever since we started this podcast, we have been complaining every weekend about Mercedes. About Mercedes strategy,
and
about
pit
Mercedes
stops.
pit stop, and it's now the operational gaps are becoming, they are too big, like you can clearly see, and it's not like when we had the W11, it was the fastest car on the track.
We were
So
not
you
getting
could-
everything right.
Yeah, so the
They
drivers
we could overlook. The drivers would outperform, and of course, like would not be privy to the gaps in the
Yeah.
operations of Mercedes, because even when Mercedes had the fastest car, they weren't dominating
like
as
Red
Red Bull
Bull
is.
are.
And you know why Red Bull is dominating? As we've said this before, again, it's because there's no team that knows regulations in and out like Red Bull. They even know more than FIA. Sometimes, remember after that whole Checo retiring Checo and then unretiring
Retiring.
Checo, Red Bull get their stuff together.
Yeah,
their
they-
pit crew is like, they are together.
You-
Their strategy calls
this
led
guys-
by Hannah Schmidt is like
These guys
together.
keep on practicing pit stops. They practice and
Oh,
practice
we also
and
practice.
practice.
Did you see us before the race? We said we were practicing. I don't even know
These
what
people
is
are not
practicing.
even practicing.
These people are
I
jokers.
feel like Mercedes, they need to, with us not having, championship contending cars,
Then get
they
the other
need
things
to. They had.
right.
I feel like that was,
time
last
for-
year
yeah.
was their time to get their house in order.
They didn't.
And see, okay, so this is where we are lacking. We are lacking in our pit stops. We are lacking in our strategies. What can we do to make,
You see that time they used
to
to
make it
film
better.
those cringe videos with Russ, that whole apology and whatever. Instead of wasting time doing that,
That would
I
practicing
suggest go
their
and
pit
practice.
stops.
We are tired of making excuses. And then again, I know this is not an agenda, but if you look at the pit stops for George
Russell.
Russell comparing them to Hamilton. We've done this before. Hamilton's like 3.6. Are you kidding me? Like, come on.
I mean, you cannot be doing 3.6 pit stops for Lewis Hamilton. So
And
he basically
he's racing Lando and Max Verstappen.
he basically got a 7-second pit stop, while other people were doing. I remember at one point in the race, Lando Norris did a 2.0. And you were doing a 3.5, so you've lost 1.5 seconds
So I
in
think
the pits.
I think first of all you're making your drivers work so hard, and not drivers. I'll say you're making Lewis Hamilton's work. I know he's very positive about the drivers and about the team, and it's okay. We support you in that sense, but still we cannot not call you out on that. Like it has to be. I don't know if it will reach you, but yeah, we have to just express our frustration.
I feel like. Every weekend I'm just
tired.
tired
We're just
of
doing the same
complaining
thing,
and complaining over the same thing. And the thing is, I like the way McLaren already had committed to a 2-stop strategy. They had committed. It's like because Lando Norris is the one who pit first, and then Max Verstappen reacted to. In the first stint, Max Verstappen reacted to Lando Norris. Then Mercedes are just there.
Verstappen, he pitted first and undercut. Undercut, like, you remember he went ahead of Lando. Like, he undercut Lando.
Oh, it's the second stint that Lando pit first.
Yeah.
And he was undercutting Lewis not.
Hamilton,
but it's just like, Mercedes, it's like, wanashtukia. Like, oh my God, these guys are doing a two-stopper.
Abu tufanye pia.
I mean, I kind of thought they knew they were going to do a 2-stopper.
I think it was not, if anything, if they don't want to think, Pirelli does these race predictions. Like, we also posted on our Instagram, like the optimal strategies. The other thing is, we don't even have data. You have data. Literally, they have data. So for them to, I was like, even though you were not committed, why would you pit this guy after he's lost so much time? Because there's a time, if Lewis had pitted, it would have been a very neck to neck, like coming out of the pit lane and Max Verstappen. He would have taken the lead then. But then you pit him like 2 laps later, 3 laps later. The gap has already gone down to like 17 seconds. You're like, oh, no,
and then you pit him and do a slow stop.
You do a slow stop. You've lost time. Like you have. I don't understand. I would want to know how they operate, man.
Like for me, if I was Toto Wolff, and this is like what is really aching me, or is arcing, I don't know which is which. But it's just basically they're always releasing statement after statement after statement. PRCDs. And it's just.
I think for them it's just about the stock. Like I think for them they just want to be like, we want to remain profitable. I don't
like just like
the
thing is, and this is what is boring me. These are 2 wins that we have fumbled this season alone. We could have won Singapore. But they could not do team orders. We could have won yesterday, and now that yesterday would have been on merit. We wouldn't have said, "Oh, we won because of team orders." Even if we were going to be disqualified, we won. We won. But we would have won on track. That's what I mean. And I'm just saying that the other place we have a potential to win now again is Sao Paulo, of which Mercedes might fumble again.
I think there's just more the thing is this whole plank thing, like that, for example, I know they admitted saying, Chauvelin put out a statement. He's like, the time was not enough. We had like this sprint, whatever. But
they're so spineless.
100. I feel like we need. I saw someone also say on Twitter they better be preparing a whole like apology video for Lewis Hamilton. Anyway, like the thing is, they are admitting. So if you already knew that this was a very tight weekend, like a tight window, is it the first time you're going to a sprint weekend, Mercedes? Come on, like, is it the first time? I mean, I know you had a new floor fitted, but still, like,
we've had 4 sprints already. It's not the first one. It's not the first sprint that.
Is it the first time you're bringing an upgrade? Is it a first time you're fitting a floor? To be honest, I feel like the thing is, you had data. I know, I don't understand. Like, you have this sophisticated software, whatever. You have a team backing you up in Brackley. Like, come on. By the way, the cars that were actually checked for this
frank.
The plank where the teams checked, drivers checked included Lando Norris, Max Verstappen as well. So if you're going to say, oh, we didn't have time,
I mean,
what
the Red
about
Bull
the
had
rest?
time, and
Everyone else
and
had
McLaren
time.
had time as well.
I mean, I'm so sure, and then other people are calling for, other drivers, the rest of the, maybe can you check your other teammates? But that's not how it works. These checks are done randomly. Like if you're caught in
If
the
it's
wrong,
you, it's you.
But then also I think the other thing is, does it like expose? Can you imagine? Like yeah, they do those checks randomly. There those that are specific. They're done on all the cars. Like for example, the weight of the cars, whatever. After they race, that is.
Yeah.
So imagine the other things that are missed out. Like you're just banking on vibes or like on being lucky.
On
Maybe
being
you
lucky,
didn't
you're
get
like
something.
this.
You're like, okay, hope see mimi nitashikwa hiyo siku. But then now,
It's like when you finally decide to go with a Mwakenya to an exam. You've never done it before, and then you're like, oh my god, I hope I don't get caught.
Yeah,
and then when you're just opening it,
that's when you're caught. I think it's the same as like I saw once this funny TikTok of like it's okay for people who it's not okay to do fraud, but the people who do fraud. But then me, if I start to do fraud, I'll get caught immediately. In fact, like not even I will get arrested that day. Like the day I decided, even the thought that I want to do fraud, I will get arrested. Like in that sense, like I can't believe we should be leaving things to chance. Like
yeah.
Mercedes is just getting exposed, to be honest. I don't know.
And
like we need to do some.
I feel like
proper changes.
Mercedes needs to be, they know FIA is constantly on their back. They know they have a target on their back, literally. So you need to be one step ahead of the game.
But they won't do that.
Because, you're not Red Bull.
I think they are not Red Bull.
So
and they are not
you-
like early season 2019 Ferrari.
You need to be one step always ahead of the game. So
You used to be those
make sure
people,
you
but
don't
now you're
get
not those
you're
people.
not in this kind of problems. But anyway, I
Whatever.
will just leave that to Mercedes, because now I'm complaining week in, week out, and then Lewis Hamilton comes out and defends his team. So brother,
Bro,
I just need him to get angry for once.
I think he is just the vibe that Lewis is like inherently a very positive person.
Ugh. I wish I was that positive. He's
But
a better man
but
than me.
But that's like a trait he's cultivated like that's his demeanor. He has cultivated it over time, and that's why we are not 8 times world champions. That's why we've not won have you won a Grand Prix? Yeah, that's why we are not Lewis Hamilton. Like I
Yeah.
think honestly, me I would want to get to that level
Of like, I really don't
like
care.
Then I'm like, oh, this happened. Okay, there's nothing I
Okay,
can do
do
about
about
it.
it.
Like, let's move. I wish I could. I'm so sure if I had that attitude, I think I'd be so far
Ahead in life.
so far up my ass.
But
That's an answer I can move through life like that.
now that whole because we are just talking about Mercedes, we can also talk about Ferrari and how Ferrari I don't even
Let me say-
I don't think I'm allowed to use this word, so I will just say how Ferrari screwed up Charles Leclerc's race, because what was that?
Honestly, that's another team I cannot. I'm not just Jewish down again.
And
Like,
what
how do
was
you
I mean,
commit to,
what,
like-
how do you start the race P1 and finish P6, then get disqualified?
I think they don't know how
He's
to
had
act sometimes.
a
like,
worse weekend than
more than
Lewis.
Lewis Hamilton. I think, but then the other thing I feel like bad about Lewis is that this is the first weekend he's been on everything, qualifying, sprint, whatever. He's been on top of his game, and then now for us,
And
to
then
be
he
disqual-
doesn't
like,
get
it's
rewarded for
wow.
it.
Yeah, like it's just like wow. With Ferrari, like I don't understand what they were trying to do with Leclerc with the one pit stop. I don't understand. I honestly, those people, there are other people who need prayers.
But
Serious
I mean,
prayers.
I saw Ferrari fans telling me, they've gotten used to it. So I
think
should
they have
also
also,
get,
but I
get
think
used to
also
it.
they have also gotten. I think I'm also like, I am more, I am more like a Ferrari fan than I am a Mercedes
Mercedes fan.
fan. But I support Lewis Hamilton like through and through. So I think they've also gotten to a point where I don't know if the shift in leadership. Vasa is amazing. He's like, I don't know. I think he's a good team principal. I think we had like the transition, when they fired Mattia Binotto,
Yeah.
there were already like operational gaps are there. There's so many like some things that are some loose screws, some loose nuts everywhere with Ferrari. Like they just don't look very set up, like and I think that has continued. I think Vasa maybe might be trying to work on it. That's another thing. They've still not really been operating
Yeah.
as like the Ferrari of Ferrari. Ferrari of like when they were racing with, for example, Michael Schumacher, or like the Ferrari.
I mean,
of
Ferrari just need
Raikkonen
to
or whatever,
like
or Sebastian.
pull up their socks. The last race winner for Ferrari was I, brother, 2007.
Oh yeah, the World Championship.
Yeah,
That's the last
with
time
Kimi. That's
with
the
Kimi
last time they
Raikkonen.
won a championship.
That's the last time. It's been a minute.
You
And
know,
I
to
think
be honest, I feel like if Red Bull today approached Charles Leclerc and told him, "We would like you to drive for us," I feel like Charles should just leave.
But it's every driver. I know they keep on saying it's their dream, but not.
I mean, Mark said it's his dream to drive for a Ferrari, so they should just swap.
yeah, we want to see Leclerc in that Albina, like that Red Bull.
I mean, I feel like Leclerc needs a place where things are working for him and his team is behind him, because the team is just screwing him weekend in, weekend out.
It's been a difficult couple of races. For
Yeah, I
Charles
mean,
Leclerc.
I really don't get it, but
on to like let's go on to like those two teams. They need
they need prayers. We
are
should come
going
and deal with
to-
them traditionally.
They should come down to.
We'll deal
They
with
need
them.
to do a lot of capacity building. I don't even know. Like they
there's
need.
I don't
they-
even think
I
it's
think they need.
capacity
I
building.
don't even think
People
they need to
to go
uphold.
home.
They need to go, but they have taken people home. Does it work?
People need to go home.
Who needs to go home now?
If
Is it
the
the
whole
race
team
engineers?
and Toto?
No,
Toto needs to fire himself.
I
I think
Yeah, I think that I will cut that part out. I think the thing is, there's not even a thing. I'm so frustrated by those two teams. On other news is that finally, what?
yeah.
Finally, Logan Sargent has points. Like wow,
I mean, at his
finally
home
knows.
race, he finally knows what a kilometer is.
wow, we're
Rah.
so proud. Wow.
I
So
mean,
finally, we have like Williams in double points. Like Williams up. Oh my god, I'm so happy for them. I mean, Alex Albon, Logan Sargent in the top 10.
yeah.
That is amazing news for Williams. I think as in we've praised their trajectory again. Let them continue. And then I think now the thing is now, I love how towards the end, we always say like towards the end of a season.
Yeah.
Last year was just the new year of regulations. So Red Bull got it right. They had, they took the baton and went off with it. This year, some teams were trying. We were expecting some teams to have caught up, but we're just having teams mid-season like McLaren come with upgrades that are working like way after a long while. But then now you can see them like at least now bunching up. I don't think they're going to catch Red Bull, but it's a good thing. Like now the teams seem to have like to understand their cars better.
And what might be failing their cars.
The other thing, yeah, exactly. The other thing, I think the other talking point is Aston Martin. Aston Martin, like I think, started the race from the pit lane, and we had Fernando Alonso switching back to his Qatar spec.
Yeah.
And like they had an upgraded car, so we had Stroll running the
The-
upgraded
the
car,
new-
and then
the new-
yeah,
yeah.
and then like what is his name again? Fernando Alonso opted to use the Qatar GP spec. He ended up retiring. I know they were trying to compare data, but then Stroll actually had a good run.
Yeah.
Stroll finished in the points as well.
points.
So I think it might be. It was like it was, yeah, of course it's unfortunate that one of their drivers retired. But the good thing is that now they have data. The upgrade they brought is working, like with Stroll. I think it's good data for them. So it might look like all grim,
Like they're
all
developing
grim for them,
backwards.
but they're not developing backwards. They're actually okay. Maybe they wanted to just see like if there's a comparison. But then that's
Yeah.
a different one because Qatar and Austin are very different. Actually Austin is quite bumpy.
Yeah.
And it's like, so many corners. I don't think there's like corner coming after you. I think
it's bumpy because I could see the cars, the drivers in the cars, and they were like their heads were bobbling. Yeah.
So I think that's the other thing for like Aston Martin. I think what other team has, I don't know, Haas didn't finish in the point. I know they brought this new aerodynamic package
I don't
that
think
I
it
think
worked.
what we were saying they were inspired by the Red Bull concept. But I saw so many other comparing it to the Aston Martin, to the, you know, I forgot which other team. But also, like, I don't know, I wouldn't say they didn't finish it in the points, but it seemed to be working during maybe to the qualifying sprint shootout. But I think they need like more track time. Like Mexico is not a sprint weekend, so maybe we will see
They can
them
just
trying to
try
run it against, you know, run
and
run it in Mexico and see if maybe they are working towards the right direction. But I think they are on a good, like, as well, a good.
Yeah. And Yuki Tsunoda finished in the points, finished P8 with the fastest lap.
Yeah, I think the secret to having very able pit stops. I saw Alpha Tauri, they eat bread. Like they after they did the 2 pit stops for their drivers, they were sharing. I don't know, is it a sandwich or is it just bread? It's literally a pit stop for lunch.
This is something that I have realized with Yuki Tsunoda is, you know, when he's calm and collected and has a cool head, Yuki does well in races. He
does very well
in races.
But
he
I
might
think
not do very well in qualifying,
yeah.
but if it's a race, he turns up.
Yeah, I think he has good race pace. He has good race craft as well. I think Yuki Tsunoda just sometimes, I mean, of course, I wouldn't want, I mean, he needs much, I mean, he just needs to reel in his emotions. But again, we say Formula One is a very emotional sport, high adrenaline and everything. Yeah. We saw that cute photo of Yuki, and I think I'll post it here. This is the photo we are talking about.
Yeah.
Yuki posing with a
With the
cow.
Maybe it's the cow that gave him good luck. So I was very happy to see that.
They pitted and they got the fastest lap as
Yeah.
well. So he finished. Now he finished P10, but then now he's been upgraded to
P8.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
P8.
two drivers were.
Oh yeah, to P8, and then he has the fastest lap. So that's very good. I think finally he has like a good outing, and I'm happy for Yuki.
Yeah, and then earlier in the race we saw 2 retirements. I mean, had to be Ocon.
You know, I feel so sorry for Piastri. Okay, yeah, Ocon. But then, but Ocon being away, there were not so many penalties apart from... You know, Ocon is a guy who receives like so many penalties.
But they did make contact with Piastri, and Ocon's side pod was...
Yeah, and also like that messed up Piastri's. I think Piastri had damage as well, and he had to retire the car. So we had like 3 retirements, by the way. Ocon, Alonso, and
Piastri.
Yeah, I think the other Alfa Romeo. I don't know how. I didn't notice anything exemplary about them, like over the weekend per se. But you know, we keep moving.
Yeah.
The Red Bulls. You know, Max now has 50 wins, 50 Grand Prix wins. He's joined the league of, you know, Lewis Hamilton, Michael Schumacher, and all.
Yeah.
Prost as well, right?
Yeah, but
and all those like
51.
Yeah, so I'm just saying like over 50.
When he wins this week.
Oh yeah, he's not gotten. I'm just saying he's joined to that league of people who have over 50. Not over 50. 50 and above, like wins, that is.
But you know, he's getting 51 when he wins this weekend.
Oh, he's going to win again. Yeah. So
but you know, something that I realized, you know, talking about, now that we're talking about Checo, but it was so funny he couldn't pass the Ferraris. The slow Ferraris. Anyway,
those Ferraris weird enough, like we keep on saying they're very good over 1 lap pace, but then also when they come to the race, do you know, like actually in sprint shootout, like Sainz kept Russell, and Sainz was on very, very grainy soft. And he kept Russell in his Mercedes, in his mediums.
So what are you trying to say? Skill issue?
No, it's not a skill issue. No, it's not. Okay, that one was like, I couldn't believe it.
But also I was very, I'm not very surprised, but just seeing Checo Perez has a big fan base in the US.
Oh, come on. You know, Mexico is just like literally.
Yeah, but he has a very big fan base in the US.
Yesterday it was like he was not even on the podium, and
but
Checo.
I mean, it's very interesting, but also
I love that he is supporting him. Honestly, he did.
Yeah, he needs the support.
Did you see that awful video of like Christian Horner saying all that awful thing about Checo Perez. Honestly, he's so unhinged. Like that's like, it feels
I
like
mean,
harassment.
Christian, yeah,
It borders harassment, but it's
is
Christian Horner.
Horner. So I mean, we're not very surprised. But also, funny thing is this weekend for like uh the few moments in my life, I also cannot believe this. I actually did agree with what Max Verstappen said.
Yeah, about the sprint format.
Yeah, I mean, it's boring.
Honestly, it was a snooze fest.
What were we going to see in the sprint? The fastest cars were going to be the fastest
No, I
cars.
think the thing is, I think he like Verstappen was like, now we are taking away the surprise of actually seeing who's the fastest car
On
come
Sunday.
I know they wanted to do this whole Saturday thing as like as a separate event and to give
for more entertainment.
But if you're
to
going
the
to
fans.
do then reverse the grid.
Yeah, reverse the grid. We want to
Like,
see
qualify
Logan
this way,
Sargent
starting
at the front.
let other people like fight, like it's short laps. Then it doesn't make sense like for you to actually.
And I thought the purpose of the sprint, not only just giving the fans entertainment, was to give other drivers more points.
As well. It's like, yeah, I think on that trajectory, I'll move on. It was also the first time F1 Academy. We've talked about F1 Academy so much, and we love the series as well. F1 Academy, again, we'll just still tell you guys what it is. It's an initiative by Formula One to increase the female talent pool to address participation gap of females in the series. Yeah, and I had like a serious argument with someone on one of our social media handles.
I think I saw the
You
comments.
saw it. Yeah, it's just so, I don't get it. Like, you don't come at us with, oh yeah, it sucks. We will never see a Formula One driver. Oh, we will see one, and I promise we will see one. So, because
there has been a driver who competed, a female driver who competed in Formula One.
Yeah,
it's just that we haven't seen that again, and now this is an opportunity to bring women into Formula One.
we are, with this series, we are addressing the participation gap. Like, we're trying to address it. If they drive in F1 Academy, they're going to go into F1 directly. No, it's a feeder series they will get into F4, F3,
F2,
and then maybe finally F1. So I think we saw the brilliant. I loved I think I caught most of the. They were broadcasting it live, and I can't wait for them to. They've released their calendar as well, and we'll have some events running concurrently with the F1 as well. So, this is the weekend that they were going to crown their inaugural champion, and we had Marta Garcia, the Spaniard. She drove in the W Series as well. She drove, I think I watched that race. F1 Academy runs this way. They have 2 practice sessions, 40 minutes each, and then they have 2 qualifying sessions, and then they have 3 races. The first race, the grid is set by the first qualifying. The second race is set by the first qualifying, but reverse the top 8. And then the third race is set now by the
second qualifying.
So, first qualifying, Marta Garcia is on pole. She did what she needed to do. Now that we go into race 1, where she was going, if she needed to outscore what is her name? Who was number 2? Is it Bola or Bustamante? No. I forget her name. But she needed to outscore the person who was P2. Like, she drove beautifully. Let me tell you, like, from the word go of that race, Abby Pulling of Rodin Culling. And also, Rodin. I think she's part of the Alpine Driver Academy as well. Abby was there. Like, I thought, like, she would fumble. Like, but Marta she drove a mature drive. Abby was right, like, from the word go, she was right, like, behind her. So she drove. Abby couldn't catch Marta, and Marta, took the win, and also was crowned the first F1 Academy, champion. And now that means she can't compete anymore in F1 Academy. Like, if you win in F1 Academy, I think you can come back again. And also, there's also an age limit, like, as well. I think it's from 18 to 26, 25 or 20, 25.
I have a
years.
chance.
You have a chance. Oh, you have a chance. Oh, yeah. I think I do not have a chance. So, I think it was nice. And then the other race we also had Edgar win the second race. The third race, I mean. The second race was won by someone else. But it's
these
just a
names.
beautiful. These names are like, but I think we'll get the hang of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was nice. We had Lewis congratulating Marta Garcia as well. Like, I
Yeah.
love that Formula One drivers also lent a hand to to this series as well. George Russell, I think in his role as the
race,
in his
what
role
was
as
his
the
name? What's the
director
name?
of
Director.
the GDP, whatever, the drivers Grand Prix Drivers Association.
Yeah,
He's
he-
a director, so he
was
presented
handing out
the
the trophies.
Yeah, and it was so nice to see the drivers also make a visit. Lewis Hamilton, George Russell as well visit with Susie Wolf.
Yeah,
At
and
the-
to see the drivers
Yeah,
and
and I
the
saw actually
cars.
so many other people there watching the race. Lewis Hamilton was watching the race.
Yeah.
Tommy the Hilfiger himself as well. He's called Tommy Hilfiger. He's called that, right? The owner. Yeah, he
owner.
was there as well. He was watching on F1 Academy. Even Gail King, you know her, the one Good Morning America. That's her show, right? It's called Good Morning America. I don't know. Gail King was actually that. As in, I love that so many people showed up
to watch the women racing. And I mean, it's a very good, it's a good thing, if they continue broadcasting the races, just basically pushing more people into, women actually do compete, and they compete
and
competitively.
And the thing is, it's actually like, I think this were, I love that. Okay, no, we wanted the race broadcasted live from the word go.
Yeah.
But I heard Susie Wolf say something. At the start we had, some of the drivers came with a bit of experience. For example, Marta has competed in W Series and everything. Some drivers have no experience. There's some 18-year-olds, 18-year-olds, like,
Bianca.
And she's not even the youngest. There's another younger girl as well. So I think at first the spread was covered by, there was so much disparity. But now they've grown as well. Now we're seeing the grid is covered by, 1/2 a second. That's good. So I think, and I also, when I listened to Bustamante,
Yeah.
Bianca was actually now signed by
McLaren.
No, we have drivers now. F1 has to run a livery in F1 Academy next year, and also have a driver in. I think
Yeah,
it's just
in the
part of them.
driver, what's the name?
Driver lineup. What are you saying?
No, when because they have to take one driver in F1 Academy to their.
They don't. The thing,
I
they
don't
don't
know- I
actually.
don't
They
know the
don't.
name.
They
But
don't have
anyway.
to. They don't have to take a driver from like the F1 Academy. They can come with their driver as long as they're running a livery on the Nini on
But
in F1
see,
Academy.
one driver has to be part of their driver development
Or
program.
they will have to. When you sign them, when you have a driver driving in F1 Academy for the F1 teams, then
Yeah.
you have to sign them. To
Yeah,
the
yeah,
development
that's
and
what I meant.
Oh yeah. So I think we are yet to see any Bianca. Only Bianca has been announced by McLaren. We are
McLaren.
yet to see other other teams, but I think it will happen in due course as well. Honestly, I feel like these are good initiatives. They address the participation
Yeah.
gaps. Like I know you will keep on saying, but why do women need like their own series? Because over time things they haven't worked for us.
For women.
That's why we don't have we're not giving them opportunity for them to actually compete competitively. If you look from the grassroots level up, like we have to address the participation gap, which has been one of the major reasons why we're not seeing a lot of women in this high
Yeah,
level.
and the another thing is like guys are always like, it's women who ruin motorsports, because I saw some very nasty comments, and I was just like, why, if you
You're
don't
not
like
ruining
it, don't watch it.
Exactly. And the other thing is that we will. I don't understand men sometimes.
Yeah, because
honestly.
us
You're
we
just
will
haters,
watch it,
man.
and we
Us
will
and
we will
watched
keep
it.
we will
watch-
keep
and we will
you
keep
know
what
telling that to shoving it down your throat, so that there's like a women's series and women can be competitive.
And also, us watching it also increases, their level, the chances of this series being sustainable.
Yeah.
And them to make money. Motorsport is
It's
very
very
expensive.
expensive.
So us watching it, giving them more airtime, talking about it, helps them, and we will keep doing that, amplifying the voices of women in motorsport, because we are badass. Like, look at women who are excelling in high level, positions in F1. Like you can't come and tell. And then again, F1 itself is one of the few sports in the world that allows participation, inherent, for rules. It says it's open
But
to both males and females.
females.
So you
It's not
coming to
like-
tell me about biology? Are you a scientist? Are you a performance biologist?
You're
What
not
is
even
wrong
a
with you?
woman.
you shouldn't tell us what we can or
Or
can't
can't
do.
do.
Yeah, so I think props to F1 Academy. We will keep, plugging you guys to F1 Academy.
Yeah.
And I think now it's a triple header, and we will see you out in a week at
In
Mexico.
Mexico.
No hablo inglés.
In
Let me see if
Mexico.
I like.
Yeah,
Vamos.
I like Mexico. They bring so much energy, especially into supporting their man Checo.
Ooh, we'll see those
So
sombreros and
yeah, so I
everything.
mean, Checo,
Un
vamos.
sombrero
I
gris,
don't know.
vamos. I speak a bit of Spanish, so I'll say all.
Don't fumble.
Yeah, I can fumble. So like this is just simple. We can't wait to see you. I know I can do that. But I know C is Miral, so we will be seeing you in Mexico.
Anyway, I do. I hope.
and the salsa.
I hope
I know
Checo has a
something- I
very
know
good
something-
weekend.
I know something Spanish. Pico de gallo. See, anyway, like we can't wait to see you in Mexico.
Yeah.
And Checo has like insane. That's like his home race.
Yeah, I hope he gets a good race, and at least he finishes in the podium. I mean,
I wish Lewis Hamilton finishes
Sh-
ahead of Checo
Checo
Perez.
Perez.
Yeah, so thank you guys for always tuning in. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter and on TikTok, and we will see you.
In Mexico. Bye.
Adios.